Hey, what's going on YouTube? So my Tacoma has a squeak. We're gonna see if we can fix that. Coming up. So right here we have my 2017 Tacoma. I have just over 40,000 miles on it, and I've had a squeak. For the longest time it's been intermittent, and now it's becoming more prominent and doesn't go away quite as much. It's not there when it's cold, but once it warms up, it starts squeaking. And I think I've narrowed it down to an idler pulley. So I haven't taken the belt off, but just trying to do some preliminary diagnosing. I think I narrowed it to this idler pulley right here, which is right next to the alternator above the tensioner. So even with the belt on here and the tension, I can grab a hold of this and I can feel some movement in the pulley. I don't know how well you can see that. I'm trying to get it on camera here. But there's definitely some movement. And so I think that's where the noise is coming from. So I went to the dealership, I picked up an idler pulley with, comes with the bearing in it. And since I'm going to be changing that out, there's 40,000 miles on the truck, just a little bit over. I figured I might as well pick up a new belt and change that at the same time. I did go with genuine Toyota parts. You could probably save quite a bit of money by going to AutoZone or O'Reilly, but I just preferred to go to Toyota because I didn't want to deal with any intermittent squeaks from cheap belts or anything like that. So that's why I went straight to Toyota. I'm sure the other parts would do just fine. And here are the part numbers and the prices for those items. The belt was about $88 and the pulley is just over $103. You might be able to save a little bit of money if you have a friend or some sort of auto shop that has like an account and you can do a cash pickup price. That's how I was able to save a few dollars, but so I didn't pay those actual prices. But that's what they would be if you just went in off the street and picked those up. So I apologize, this is not going to be the easiest to record or get to. I'm going in from the top. I'm going to try that first. But you want to start with taking that tension off from the belt. Using a 14 millimeter on the tensioner. There is a spot on the bottom side where you can take like a pin or a drill bit and put that into to hold that in place. All right, I got it in place. I don't know if I am remembering incorrectly or remembering a different vehicle. I thought that there was a diagram somewhere showing the route of the belt. You can look them up online. I'm sure it's in the owner's manual as well. Or you can use your phone and take some pictures. So getting the belt off isn't difficult. And when I say getting it off, I mean like off the pulleys. Getting it off the pulleys is not difficult. Getting it completely out, that's a different story because you got to get it around the fan. So you can either remove the entire shroud, which I don't think that would be entirely easy, but we are going to fish it around the fan. And honestly, it's not difficult to do. I'm already most of the way around the fan. And last blade. There we go. Belt's out. I actually don't think that this belt looks all that bad. I don't know, what do you think? Think it needs replacing? Here's the pulley that I think is the problem. There's a little bit of wobble back and forth. Doesn't spin very long. I mean, neither does the other stuff, but that feels smooth. about this one down here? So this one has the most movement in it. But when I spin them, none of them are making noise. But it's also cold out here, and I didn't warm the engine up because I didn't want to be working in a hot engine bay. All right. And now we are ready to install the new pulley. And we're going to torque this down to 29 foot-pounds. All right, now we got to fish the new belt in here. Hopefully it'll be as easy as it was going out. Once it's routed all through there, you want to make sure that it's completely on the pulleys, not hanging off the sides or anything like that. That's a quick way to tear up a belt. If you were to start it up like that. All right, go ahead and pull that pin or drill bit like I used out of there. So full disclosure, I'm not positive I replaced the correct one or the one that was squeaking, because this one has just as much movement as the last one. Fingers crossed. All right, well, it's been running for a few minutes, and I don't hear any squeak. That's the idler pulley that we replaced right there in the middle, right there. So I think the best thing to do is to go and drive it and make sure that the squeak did in fact go away. All right, so I ran to the bank and back to get it nice and warm to make sure that we didn't have a squeak anymore. And I'm happy to say that it was not squeaking. As of right now, the squeak is gone. So I'm not gonna lie, I am not a mechanic or a technician or anything like that. I know just enough to get myself into trouble. I'm just a do-it-yourselfer and try and save myself a few dollars by doing things myself. I inherited a few of my skills from my dad, and hopefully that'll be enough to keep myself out of trouble, but that's not always the case. And not every video ends in success, but luckily so far this one has. And if this is your first time here, I'm a do-it-yourselfer. I do all sorts of different DIY stuff, from working on my truck, doing projects around the house, and including some pew-pew videos in there. It seems like I'm all over the place, but it's got the underlying theme of DIY. And if you don't like how all over the place it is, then don't subscribe. If you don't mind, then do. And so I know that my angles weren't the greatest. I was trying with the cameras that I had. There is another gentleman that did a better video, And he went from the bottom side. He's got better angles, a little bit more detailed. I will leave a link in the description to his video if you want to check that out. I get it. There's much better videos out there than mine, but hopefully this will at least show you that it's possible to do it yourself. And that's it for this video. We'll catch you on the next project. See ya.